Another day, another YouTube viewing to do. I wonder how my previous video has done. Let's have a look and see. Wait. 57 subscribers? I gained 5 subscribers? And then copyright happened. But what's up guys, it's DMZ here and welcome to another video. Yeah, I know, another video within 6 months of the last one. What is this? Christmas? I mean, I wouldn't mind if it is, I'll just get more coal for my furnace anyway. I mean, someone's gonna craft the weapons for my empire and I don't see you doing it, lazy bastards. But with this video, we'll talk about one of the more common tropes in the horror genre, the dwindling party, particularly in slashers. However, before we do that, let's discuss about the genre in general and why people like it. Bearing in mind this trope is also used in the action genre, the horror genre is what I'll mainly focus on in this video since it is more common there. Now of course, horror is used to scare you. And that's it. I mean, it may not be the Zelda timeline, but what can I say? People love simplicity. Okay, now onto why people like the genre. Now on paper, it sounds weird as fuck, doesn't it? I hear you asking, DMZ, why the fuck do people enjoy getting scared? Well, random viewer, this is because, well, they want to be scared. I mean, why else would they want to watch a movie where shark eats people? I mean, I don't, I just want to see the shark eat people. But, I'm a bad example of a standard human being, I don't count, okay? But no, the fans of the horror genre do like the experience of fear, the adrenaline running through their system as the body enters a fight-or-flight reaction. Now H.P. Lovecraft said that the oldest feelings that the human race has experienced is fear. And that makes sense, since without fear we would certainly not be here right now. I can't help but feel that this is a double-edged sword somehow. It also has this strange pull that no other genre has, which is being dared to watch them in the middle of the night, since it can be seen as a roller coaster ride that you can get off at any time, but you don't want to. You want to prove that you can go through the entire ride, so it has that going for it as well. But now, this is the main attraction, the trope itself. Okay, the dwindling party. It's a group of survivors dying. This may be the simplest video I will ever make. Please let this trend continue. But on a serious note, how many slasher stories have you experienced that started off with a group of survivors, or people, and that's your main cast? Exactly. Usually, these are late teens and young adults who are just generic kids who want to have a party or have fun. Don't expect Bilbo Baggins level character development here, since they are essentially just the fodder for the scares, and everyone knows it. The writer knows it, you know it, and I know it. We're just waiting for the kill and trying to figure out which order they die, essentially. Or at least that's me. Now, because of this trope, you only have a few characters in your story, so as a result, you actually have only a few characters to actually write and develop, allowing more interesting characters and interactions. In theory. Now, one of my favourite films of all time, Alien, actually does this trope very well, and a good part of that, I think, is the age of them. If you think about it, they were pretty experienced truckers, weren't they? Like maybe mid-20s, early 30s, maybe 40s, and as a result, they worked as characters because they all actually had a different personality and they all knew each other quite well for a few years, rather than just hanging around them at school. There are many things that the movie did that justify the trope well, but we'll be here all day if I talked about all of them, so let's continue, shall we? That's not to say that means having the dwindling party being young is a bad thing, of course not, especially since this can give the impression that even though you are young, you can die, which can be a little unsettling to younger viewers, and is actually a good setup, hence why it is used so much and can be seen as a cliché. By the way, by younger viewers, I do mean that late teenage bracket. I don't mean fucking 80-year-olds. Although when I was 8, I did watch the Alien franchise and I loved it. I'm starting to see why my parents want me to start therapy. Now let's get on to why the writers use this trope. It's because they want to show you how dangerous the situation actually is. They want to show you that anyone can die at any time. Lives are actually on the line. This builds tension as you have no idea who's going to live and who's going to die. But we can make an educated guess. For example, the asshole never lives. The trope asshole victim works well with this trope, since in every kind of group there's always that one asshole that you're just like, please let him die, and once he does, oh man, you feel fantastic. I mean, I hope you do, right? It's not just me, right? Right? Another death trope that works well with this is how the minorities die, like black people or the homosexuals. They always die. In early installments of the slasher genre in particular, these people always went first, and I mean always. If you weren't white, you would be done more than a burnt chicken. Thankfully, in later years, we have moved on from them being axed off first, but they still die, so progress? Sex equals death is another trope that works well with this one. This is where the people who have sex dies. God, I love the simplicity. It makes things so much easier for me to script. But this may lead people to believe that I don't have much to say, and they may think I'm not good at this. How about another trope? How about the expendable gender, where if you're a man, you're fucked? Nailed it. The final trope I will briefly talk about that links well with this trope is the final girl. Now in many, and I mean many, slasher films, the final survivor is normally a woman, especially in early installments of the genre. Now the final girl will avoid most things, like sex, alcohol, and cigarettes. You know, the girl that is all straight edge and usually the virgin. Also, she'll be the most resourceful out of the group because, well, why not? They gotta show how she survived this long, right? Now, as a trope, this is an interesting one, especially in the 80s, when the genre began to gain in popularity. This is because normally these final girls are stereotypical of how a woman should be, quote unquote. However, feminists back then realised that through this trope, the male members of the audience are essentially forced to identify with a woman in the climax of the film. Bearing in mind, this is the 80s we're on about here. Not the best times for being a woman. Practically, however, they would want the final survivor to experience absolute terror in the climax, and back then, or hell, even today, they might think, a man being scared for a long time? Nah, let's get a woman to do it, then we need to see scared. That and fan service, which may or may not be a video in the future because my god, there is so much content I can talk about, I may have to charge you $5 for DLC. Now finally, let's go over a few of the pros and cons for this particular trope and wrap this up. As I said before, this trope is good for establishing and developing only a small cast of characters. You can build relationships between them, and it is good for establishing that the danger is very real and lives are at stake. You can make the audience feel for this small cast of characters as a result, as they die. Characters' reactions to the situation at hand. Do they panic? Are they calm? Do they do anything rash? Do they become paranoid? You know, things like that. However, you do have to be careful to not, say, kill one of the characters off early, and if you're not careful, you can underdevelop them in favour of the tension building, leading to the audience not giving too much of a fuck about them. Ain't that right, George and Matt? Still going with the silent treatment, huh? Are you still sore about me murdering you and your families? I told you I was drunk, you Also, you have to be careful of falling into common tropes or cliches such as the asshole victim, sex equals death and the like of the common tropes as I discussed before. Now, because of the slasher genre using this trope in links with the other tropes I discussed and others repetitively, the presence of just this trope can be considered a bit of a turn-off for some members of the audience. So you may have to work harder to make sure you utilise this trope to its fullest potential. Again, one of my favourite films of all time, Alien, does this trope probably the best I have ever seen, and I mean that. Well, we have finally reached the end of the video. Did you learn anything, my, tea drinkers?
Yeah, you're an Alien fanboy.
Well, in any case, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and comment and consider subscribing if you have not. And maybe, if I have 100 subscribers, I might actually make one of those outro screens. Oh man, that'd be the day. But until next time, this is DMZ signing off for now. Sayonara.